From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is the Midday Report on LALATE.
Fourth stimulus check update of 2021 today delivers incredible great news as the president makes the big push to get fourth stimulus out the door. In this recording, we're going to do something different about the fourth stimulus check update of 2021. We're going to do whatever happened to in this recording. I'll go over all the money, the third stimulus, you wondering where it is and when are you going to get it. We're going to go over the big money of fourth stimulus check, what it is and when you're going to get it. And we go over all the big money in the fifth stimulus check and fifth stimulus package and when you're going to get it. And all those standalone items like student loan debt forgiveness, we're going to go over all those as well. Whatever happened to it, they're all in this recording. This is your fourth stimulus check of 2021 update, and this is also noontime LA. We're going to have all the details in this recording starting right now. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's noontime here on LALATE Home. Hope you are glad and safe, and hope you're having a beautiful weekend. Whatever happened to that pair dance? Whatever happened to that blue shirt you used to wear with the tank top in 2020? I don't know. I'm sort of bringing back some stuff today. So whatever happened to Joni and Chachi? I don't know. That's not covered in this video. This is your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In this recording, we'll go over the big money in the fourth stimulus check package, how much money, how much you get. We're going to go over whatever happened to the money that's coming, that was supposed to come last week. Whatever happened to the money that's coming this week? Yes, there's big money coming this week. Whatever happened to that other items the third stimulus is supposed to land? Are they landed this week? Yeah, they are. I'll go over those as well. And then whatever happened to the fifth stimulus check and package? I'll go over all those provisions line by line. This is a recording which I'm going to go over every single little provision of all these different stimulus packages and give you an update. And here we go. First, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video, and if you've not become a member, the link's at the top of the chat and the pinned comment. Whatever happened to the fourth stimulus check and the fourth stimulus package? It got a major push Friday. As the President of the United States said, get it done. It's as simple as that. He said, get it done. So what is the fourth stimulus check and fourth stimulus package? There's two plans at play, the House plan and the Senate plan. The House plan proposes to give you $2,000 the first month and then $1,000 a month thereafter, continuing to the end of the pandemic and then a year thereafter. The senators, however, would give you a stimulus check from just July to December, so less checks than the House members. But the House members would give you a smaller amount of check, where the senators were on the street would give you more. House members would give you $1,000 every month after the first month. The senators, however, word on the street is a bigger payout, just shorter. $2,000 a month or $12,000 word on the street, or $1,400 a month over 6 months, $8,400. The single biggest payout you've ever seen in the history of this channel. Who gets it? You do. So if you're on SSI or STI, Social Security or railroad benefits, you would get it. If you make less than $75,000, you would get this fourth stimulus check, this monthly stimulus check starting the month of July. Household 4 or less, 4 checks. Married couple, $150,000 or less, double the check amount. Not a taxable event, not taxable. It's not income, would not disqualify you from benefits. We don't know anything about child care, and it would land in the month of July for the month of July and continue thereafter. All the representations of the legislators. 2-bill, 2-step, 2-month process called reconciliation. That's whatever happened to the fourth stimulus check and fourth stimulus package. But what happened with it on Friday? The president saw a number coming out, and the number came out, or as the press secretary said, Happy Jobs Friday. And he immediately saw the bad number and said, this is why we have to pass fourth stimulus. His analysis was wrong, more about his comments coming up this evening on LALATE. But what you need to know was he said, this is why you got to pass my fourth stimulus package. The fourth stimulus package has add-ons, and those add-ons are the fourth stimulus checks. The president doesn't write the bill. The president doesn't the president doesn't draft the bill. The president says the bill, I want to include roads, infrastructure, and climate. And the senators and House members, they add in the stimulus checks. He's not going to talk about stimulus checks because he ain't writing the bill. He only wants his climate and infrastructure. And away we go. That is your update about the fourth stimulus check. Whatever happened then about that money coming back from the federal government? Yes, whatever happened with that money? Well, guess what? It's landing. Marty Walsh, your Secretary of Labor, announced this end of this last week that you're getting back money. Wow, incredible, great news. How much money are you getting and when are you getting it and how are you getting it? Let me tell you, if you were on unemployment at any time and you got a letter from your unemployment department saying, you know what, I think we overpaid you by mistake. It's our error, not yours. You didn't do anything wrong. We made a mistake. But return all that darn money to us. And you return the money. And then they say, thank you. Well, Marty Walsh, at the end of the week, the education secretary under the president, said, no, states made a mistake. They got to return that money to you. Congratulations. The states have been ordered to return money back to you that the federal government said should have stayed in your hands. They had no right to request it back to you. This is incredible, great news across the board. Meantime, whatever happened to that money from third stimulus for rent, utilities, mortgage, and homeowners assistance? It's landing. It landed last week. It's landing next week. It's landing the week after. How much money? Let's go over it. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000. It's a lot of money. And it's for you. It's for you. Same people. If you make less than $75,000, 150 married couple, SSI, SDI, it's for you. So what are the items? Rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, homeowners utilities, and SNAP benefits. How do you get it? Let's go over all this right now. So the money from the third stimulus for all these items had not landed. Whatever happened to it? It didn't land, and now it's landing. So whatever happened to it, where is it now? Let's start with rent. They pay you about 4 to 6 months of rent. So it's about at least $5,000. Where is it? It's landing in your city hall, city housing authority, state hall, state housing authority, county hall, county housing authority. Reach out to them and ask for that rent assistance because of COVID under the American Recovery Act, the third stimulus package. Very easy breezy. Then what about mortgage assistance? Same place. Reach out to the same places and look for it as well. And homeowners utilities as well. SNAP. Whatever happened with SNAP? SNAP is now 15% increased from January to December. So if you have never gotten it, go get it. It is not automatic. You have to call them up and ask for it. Department of Agriculture is who you ask for. How much money? Oh, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Did I say that? It's a lot of money. So if you are a family of four in Hawaii, you're seeing upwards of $16,000 a year. Yeah, look at this. I mean, we're only 8 minutes of this video. Look how much money we got. Whatever happened to all that money? Well, we're doing pretty well. We're only 8 minutes in. And I got a lot of other money coming later in this video. So stay with me. This is Moolah video, Moolah movie. So there you go. How do you get it? Department of Agriculture. And it's just incredible because this is how things happen. You get the money to pay for the food in the house. Then suddenly those food bills will no longer drain from your bank account. No longer will you have to take money out of your bank account to pay for food. The bank account will stay stable. Your assets will remain higher and your liabilities will drop because you won't have to be paid for food. And with the money that's freed up for not having to pay for food, you have that money now to pay for other things you may not have been able to pay for before. To fix your computer, to fix your car, to fix the dishwasher, to get something for your child they desperately need it for school, and you suddenly have freed up a lot of money because of SNAP. Go get it. And guess what? Whatever happened to those other things? Okay, so now student loan debt forgiveness. Whatever happened to that one? Miguel Cardona, your education secretary, is not doing his homework. Where's Dr. Jill? Tell him to go do his homework. He was supposed to do that memo to the president. Now it's almost 5 weeks late after a 2-week order to detail whether the president can forgive student loan debt by executive order. Of course he can. Obama did it. Trump did. Why is Biden not doing it? Whatever happened to that memo? We don't know. What we do know is that Elizabeth Warren, well, let me not steal my thunder. Whatever happened to Elizabeth Warren and her push to get it forgiven? I don't know. That is actually a bigger question. You'll see on Afternoons and Evenings LA tonight where Elizabeth Warren's off talking about babies again. Oh, Secretary Warren, Senator Warren, stop talking about babies. Go talk about our student loan debt forgiveness, and our multiple stimulus checks, and our SSI reform. Don't pick up another topic. Don't pick up, the baseball or something else. Don't pick up something else. Just focus on these few issues, and just before you go to something else. I don't know. I don't know why Elizabeth Warren has dropped the ball on this. I don't understand why Chuck Schumer has dropped the ball on this. There were reports that the president was going to do it in June, as though June is I don't know why June is the month to forgive student loan debt. I mean, just do it now. There's a major report across the internet. Everyone's seen it. 1 million people signed a petition to give student loan debt forgiveness done. So, interesting. All right, whatever happened to the EIDL grant of $5,000 on the third stimulus package? It's in the law, and SBA once again is not following the law. They are not making it live. They're not offering it. They're not paying it. No one has seen it paid. No one has seen it paid. Remember, there was a deadline. The law says they have to do it for a certain number of days. The law, actually, a nice viewer sent me a message, said, LA, you keep on referring to portal. They're sending an email that they're going to pay it this way and that. No, I'm referring to portal because the law says you have to set up an application on a website. It actually says you have to open a website to start receiving applications, and the applications have to be received by those dates, and then you have to. No, it actually says there has to be a website. They're not doing that. Javita Light's gone, and they're still moving the goalposts. So that's whatever happened to that. Whatever happened to the Shutter Venue Grant, the restaurant grant? They went live. But they have yet to pay any money out that I've heard. Whatever happened to the remainder $10,000 EIDL grant of 2020? I have heard horror stories where people have responded and everyone's just blanketly being denied. Whatever happened to the PPP? Ran out of money. So if you got your application on file, you're good. Whatever happened to SSI and SSDI $200 a month and SSI that Elizabeth Warren promised us? Well, good news for that, because the three parts of that have now really been splintered. And the first part is being slid into stimulus checks, and the second part is being slid into fifth stimulus. SSI and SSDI, the concept was that people who were the concept originally for the SS200, as we affectionately call it, was that people who were seniors were not getting stimulus checks, that you were being excluded because you're an adult dependent. Well, under fourth stimulus, adult dependents are getting stimulus checks. SSI and SSDI are getting stimulus checks. A lot of you were ineligible under third or second for stimulus checks. Excuse me, second or first for stimulus checks. So you are getting stimulus checks. Yeah, I know this someone's going to say in the comments, but I wanted an extra $1,200. Well, yeah, there's a lot of people who wanted the $10,000 for hazard pay last year. So yeah, I know I'll get that, but they are putting you into that multiple stimulus check environment. And they're making it very clear that if you've not gotten that third stimulus check or any prior stimulus check you're eligible for, file the tax return ASAP and request it. So that's where they put the first part. That's the good news. The second part, the increase in your benefits, adding in a new benchmark, and having a new benefits going forward that are all great. That's all SSI reform. That's fifth stimulus, which is coming up in the second half of this recording. Really incredible, great news. But let's cut back to fourth stimulus. Fourth stimulus is the biggest payout you're ever going to see in the history of this channel, but it makes sense because it needs to be done. Fourth stimulus needs to be done because people need to get caught up on their bills. The number one issue at hand currently in this country is people are behind on their bills. And that is done most effectively by a process in which people get enough funds fast enough, quick enough, so they're caught up in their bills. When you compare the House and Senate plans, clearly the Senate plan is the one that works because the House plan is just drizzling out $1,000 slowly over many, many months. And that will just prolong the situation, whereas the House Senate plan, at least word on the street is the numbers of the checks amounts per month are much higher, which would be a faster, quicker, higher cash infusion to the situation. Much, much better news across the board. And that's certainly where you want to be with fourth stimulus. Whatever happened to the recon for fourth stimulus? They still got time. And word on the street is that they've already been writing the bill quietly in the subcommittees. So it's not like they. How do I say this? Because I haven't explained this clear enough for viewers, I think, lately. They don't come out. I just got this visual. They don't come out with like, mariachis and a trumpeter and say, announcement, we have started recon. I think viewers sort of sense there has to be some enormous pageantry of an event that says, we have started recon. And here is the musical interlude. I just think the viewers think that that's how it starts. No, I mean, they have started writing these bills in the subcommittees. So to say they haven't started at all, they aren't doing anything, they're still not doing anything, that's not true. They are working in a recon universe already. But to say that, so I think I need to make that clear to viewers. I think viewers sort of say it's like the horse races. Off and they go. Okay, now you start recon. No, it's not like that. It's a whole. They're doing something with it right now. So hopefully I cleared that up. Whatever happened with fifth stimulus? Whatever happened with what's happening with the second half of this video? Whatever happened with money for being stalked? Whatever happened for whatever happened for free baby money? Whatever happened for hazard pay under third stimulus? Whatever happened for hazard pay under fifth stimulus? And whatever happened to the big to cheaper insurance? I have all those details and more about fourth stimulus and fifth stimulus coming up after the commercial break. Whatever happened in the commercial? I have it right now. See you in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues this evening on Afternoons LALATE. That is our evening show at 6 p.m. And then we go into Evenings LALATE at 8 p.m. and LA Late Night at 10 p.m. There may also be a show after this one, the first Afternoons LALATE as well. How are you? It's a big Saturday. I hope you're having a beautiful day on the eve of Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all my viewers. Hope you're having a beautiful day. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also like this video, 3,000 likes. I want you to be part of this family. This is LALATE, the only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel, delivering all the financial news round the clock that you need to know to get you from here to there. Also consider becoming a member. The link's in the top of the chat and in the pinned comment. You'll have access to all the details of what's in all these stimulus packages, including what's, where's my camera? Including what's in the first stimulus, which I'm getting to in just a second. Whatever happened to the unemployment refund? Okay, let me go over that as well. I think I mentioned it. So if you paid taxes on your 2020 unemployment in a 2020 tax filing, you're getting a refund check. Yes. So people who are single filers, meaning they're the only person on the tax return, who filed 2020 tax returns and pay taxes on their unemployment, they're getting that refund back from the federal government this coming week. The joint filers, who are like husbands and wife, they're getting theirs approximately a week after that. This is for people who've already filed a 2020 tax return with the federal government, paid taxes on that unemployment benefits. If you have not filed a tax return, you need to file a tax return to get those unemployed benefits returned back to you. Also, whatever happened to that $3,600 for the children and $3,000 for a child? That's coming in the month of July, $300 to $250 a month, provided one, you make less than $75,000, and two, the IRS knows that that child exists. More about that in a second. Third, fourth, whatever happened to that $1,700 of student loan college student aid? Reach out to your financial advisors for that money as well. Whatever happened to that paid sick leave under the third stimulus? We were told by the president it was going to be in the third stimulus package. I don't remember seeing it in the actual law, but I don't remember. If you remember this channel, you'll see it in the actual bill itself, which became law. Whatever happened to my missing first, second, and third stimulus check? Okay, so now at this point, let me circle back to those three items that you need to fix with a tax return. The 2020 tax return for individuals is due in a couple days, and you need to alert your tax preparer to the following situations that you may need to fix if these concern you. One, if you have never filed a tax return and you have a child, you need to get that tax return on file, people, right away with that child. Tell that to that tax preparer if the child is 17 and newborn, because that is to get that money from the federal government starting in the month of July. Second, if you have filed a tax return in the past, and always file tax returns every year, but have not listed a child and have a child that's 17 and newborn, you need to go to the tax preparer and tell that right away, because they won't know about the child. Third, if you filed a 2019 tax return and made an enormous amount of money in 2019, but took a dive in 2020 and are now eligible for the money for the children, you make less than $75,000, for example, you need to tell that to the tax preparer right away to get that 2020 tax return on file, because you won't get paid on the 2019 tax return. You made too much money. Now you will. You need to get that 2020 return on file. Of course, it's due. That's another factor. If you never file tax returns and you have not gotten a first, second, or third stimulus check, you need to file that tax return right away. What else is a reason to get the tax return on file? I think I got them all so far. So there you are. So whatever happened to fifth stimulus? So let's cut back over to fifth stimulus right now. Fifth stimulus got a push from the president on Friday when he said the jobs number shows us we got to pass fifth stimulus. Well, hallelujah. Let's go over what fifth stimulus is and how it works. So fifth stimulus will have an add-on to it, and that add-on is SSI and SSDI reform. First, let me broadly tell you what it is, and then I'll slow it down and come back over it. First, they'll increase your benefit limits. Then they'll remove the asset cap. They'll add an inflationary benchmark. They'll remove the income exclusion, and then remove the marriage penalty. And again, this is something the Democrats will add to the fifth stimulus. It is just like the stimulus checks. So let me explain procedurally how they're same. For stimulus, presidents write it. The congressional leaders will write the add-on to provide the stimulus checks. 2 bills, 2 months, 2 steps, done in July. Fifth stimulus, they write the fifth stimulus package. He doesn't write it. They do the add-on, the SSI reform. 2 bills, 2 steps, 2 months, finished, likely to be in your hand by November. So what are you going to get? Let me go over all the details. First, they're going to increase your benefits to a new number. Whose benefits? Yours. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, Veterans benefits, SSA, Survivor benefits. This is what they represent. Then they're going to tie your benefits to inflation. So normally your benefits are tied to COLA and your benefits don't go up year to year. Inflation does. 2 to 4% is the increased rate they're anticipating for the next few years, so your benefits will go up at that rate. Incredible, great news. And if inflation goes to the roof, you're fine because your benefits will go up substantially. Now, let me pause before I go to the next items. These benefit changes will be used to help you universally. So I'm slowing this down. They are not going to pass the benefits to hurt SNAP, to hurt Medicare, to hurt Medicaid, to hurt any medical benefits or food benefits or anything else. So don't think that They're not doing that. All right, let's go now to the other items. The asset cap. They're going to remove the asset cap. It dates back to a 1980s law that says some of you can't keep more than $3,000 on hand. Well, guess what? That's 2 stimulus checks or 3 stimulus checks. So you absolutely have to have that cap removed. Then they're going to remove the income cap, which is incredible great news, because if you want to work, you don't have to work, but if you want to work, now you can go work $2,000 a month. You can work and still keep that money on hand, $12,000, $24,000, whatever it is a year. And finally, the marriage penalty. It's going to be gone. It'll be invalidated under their proposal. That means that if you're suffering the marriage penalty, you would no longer suffer it. If you're facing the marriage penalty, you would no longer face it. You can go get married and you would not suffer it. Very easy breezy. So what else is in the fifth stimulus? What else are the provisions in the fifth stimulus? Whatever happened to the other items of the fifth stimulus? And when are they going to a vote? Let me go over all those right now. So fifth stimulus would call for a vote at the same time as the SSI reform. Let me go over the provisions. There are provisions for single people. There are provisions for elderly, seniors, and yeah, there are provisions for children. But it is not just for families. It just has that title. So the first one is for families. Child care for families. The next one is paid family leave. Now, the words are just all strung together. It's not just for families, and it's not just medical leave. This is the stalker example I use. And I don't just make up the example. It actually says stalker. If you have a stalker, they'll pay you 12 weeks to stay home from work. Yeah, that's what the Republicans say. You're paying people to stay home from work again. So, yeah, that's what it says. Then free preschool for all 3 to 4-year-olds and 2 free years of community college for all students. I don't like this. I don't think it makes sense. Income qualification. What's going on? There's no income qualification. So we would be paying for billionaires' kids to go to community college. It doesn't make sense. It needs to be $75,000 single parent or less, $150,000 single parent or less. Same as a stimulus check. Next, more grants for college students. Great. I love that. Give a lot of that. More grants for college students. Great. I love that as well. Then 2 years of free college for a kid who is a child of a single parent who makes 6 figures. No. No, it's $75,000 for a single parent, $150,000 or less for a single parent. This is where things start to look a little, how would you say it? Unclear, a little curious. Why is the administration paying people big checks under $75,000, but then when it comes to tuition, they're raising the ceiling through the roof? There's no income cap for tuition. We'll just offer tuition to everyone. Wait a second. No. It's the same. It should be the same for everything. Single parent should be 2 years of free college, 75 or less, 150 for a married couple. Then here we go for single people. More money for SNAP. Taking the lower insurance premiums, a third stimulus package, making it a lifetime. And then come the last 3 provisions. First, the child care credit. Great, but wrong. Needs to be bigger. This is where they're doing a good idea, but they're not doing enough of it. What is it? Third stimulus, they want to make it permanent. It is 1 child, you can have up to 50% of your child care costs deductible, capped at $5,000. Or 2 or more children, 50% of your costs up to $8,000, 50% capped at $8,000. I don't like that. I think it's too cheap. Let's say you have 3 kids and you have $50,000 of childcare costs. Then why are you able to deduct $8,000 of it? It's ridiculous. You spent the money. Why can you not deduct the money? You're spending the money to take care of your kids. Why are you being capped on the fact that you had more than 2 kids, or the fact that you're capped at $8,000? What's $8,000? That's ridiculous. $8,000, you could have $60,000 of childcare costs, and we're capping it at $8,000. Doesn't make sense. So I don't like that one. Then the earned income tax credit for childless workers, which is the hazard pay provision, which you're going to hear me talk a lot more about today and all weekend long and next week. Why? Because it has to do with that jobs number on Friday. The jobs number on Friday, a lot of viewers were talking about that, which basically said we have jobs and people aren't taking them. There are more jobs out there than people, and people are not taking the jobs. We don't know why. There are theories about why it's not happening. We know the situation. There are jobs, they're not taking them. So among the discussions of why they are not taking them is that people do not feel safe. That is among the topics that we hear. Well, this is right in point to that topic. The White House proposes that if you work as a hazard pay individual, we'll give you a tax credit. So meaning, if you do get back to work as a hazard pay worker, we'll give you tax credit. How much? $1,500. Excuse me? That's cheapo. $1,500. Oh, and we're going to cap it so you can't make more than $25,000 in a given year at that job. What? Where's Bernie? What type of salary is $25,000 a year? What is that? That's not minimum wage. That's like, 4 cents an hour. I mean, what is that? So this doesn't make any sense. If you have people getting offers for jobs at a grocery store and then looking at the fifth stimulus package in their hand saying, you want me to risk my life to work at your grocery store during the pandemic, but the president's only going to give me $1,500 as a tax credit, and I can't make more than $25,000. No, I'm not going to take this job. Why would I take this hazard pay job? The president doesn't value it in any great extent. That is why this number doesn't work for the president. It should be a lot more money. It should be a lot more money, and there shouldn't be this low $25,000 threshold. It should be, $60,000, $70,000, and I'll give you $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 as a tax credit. It's a tax credit. It's not a check. It's basically said you don't have to pay taxes on that hazard pay work. It makes perfect sense. Why are we being cheap there? Doesn't make sense. And then finally, the most controversial. Yeah, the child care costs. So the child credit. So the president proposes to pay $24,000 to new babies over 6 years. And Representative Neal, his head of the Ways and Means Committee, who will be doing the fifth stimulus package, proposes to pay $75,000 or $80,000 because he wants to do it over 17 years. Too much. Ridiculous. Too much. So whatever happened to the tax burden for the fifth and fourth stimulus as well? Let me go over that. Whatever happened to that? All last week we heard a lot of controversy about that. The president, which I haven't reminded you, had that surprising great news on Thursday, which got lost in the news on Friday, which is he'll make a deal on the corporate tax rate. He originally said he went 28%. He now says he'll come down to somewhere between 25 to 28. So we'll have a deal on that. That's great news. The not so great news was the fifth stimulus taxes. Whatever happened to that? So he had promised during the campaign trail, he promised this year, he promised every single time he takes the podium, that if you're an individual, your tax burden would not change if you make less than $400,000. That's his magic number. $400,000 a person. Well, guess what? He's not being fair when you get married, because when it's two people, it's not 400, 400, 800. He's dropping it to 600. No, Mr. President. 400 and 400, that's 800. Capital gains, he wants to kick it in at 600. Personal tax, he wants to kick it at 600. Nope. If someone gets married, it should be 400, 400. So that's whatever happened to that. And whatever happened to closing credits. It's coming up. So if you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Thank you for joining me on a big noontime LA. I've been loving all the love you've having today. Always stay kind and considerate to other people in the chat. Value other people's opinions. Always be respectful to one another when chatting with one another. Always be considerate and kind. I want people to be respectful to others. And always speak to each other with respectful tone and value each other's opinion. And if you jump in the live chat and say, I don't like my shirt, well, I'm not valuing that opinion because I like my shirt. And if you've not liked this video, consider liking this video. Stay informed, stay focused, consider becoming a member. Membership, of course, you'll get access to this PD, all the documents that are in the fifth stimulus like this. So consider becoming a member. The link's at the top of the chat in the pinned comment. I'll either be back with you on the first afternoons at LA or not, I'm not sure. Or it may be another special program today because of what's happening with crypto today. Or if not, you'll see me next on the afternoon's LA programming schedule. It starts this evening. So you'll either see me in 2 hours from now or in 4 hours from now. The next show, let me show you where we are. So normally there would be another show at 4 p.m. I'm not sure if it's going to be called Afternoons LA or it may have another title, or you may not see it today. Can't tell yet based upon programming schedule. But you're definitely going to see tonight's shows, 6 p.m., 8 p.m., and 10 p.m. But boy, if you do see another show, it will likely be on the surprising development of Dogecoin today and what crypto could see in the next 24 hours. Stay informed, stay focused, keep on smiling, loving the love, and keep on trucking, and stay here with LA for more.